Hi everyone, my name is Lauren and this is Scorpionic Readings, and today I'm bringing you another timely general message keeping up with your day-to-day. What do you need to hear right now? 3 piles for today's reading. Each tarot card I've chosen is the Two of Wands, and I'm using a different tarot deck for each group. So let me go ahead and reveal everything you can use today to choose your pile to feel which one you are drawn to most. So pile number 1. Your card is from the Tarot of Mystical Moments, and here's the Two of Wands. Pile number 2, this is the Spirit Animal Tarot with the Two of Branches and the Salamander. And pile number 3, this is the Unfolding Path Tarot, and this is the Two of Wands. If you would like to use additional resources to choose your group, then stick around. If not, you can go ahead and go straight to your reading. But there are some secret messages for each pile today. So pile number 1, here is your secret message. Pile number 2, here is your secret message. And pile number 3, here is your secret message. All right, and then if you would like one more way to choose your pile, I'm going to reveal some astrological die, and we're going to see, hopefully they kind of fall in order of 3 piles. So here we go. Great, so we have pile 2 and 3 have their die, and then over here it landed on the 3rd house. Okay, so we have the 3rd house of Gemini for pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have Uranus. And for pile number 3, we have Aquarius. Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and follow the timestamp in the description and you will head directly to your reading, and I will meet you there. Hi there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and jump right into your messages. I'm going to shuffle out some oracle to get an energy check. We're going to find out what this general message is for. What do you need to hear the most right now for pile number 1? I feel this one. Let's grab an archetype next. Pile number 1, general messages. What do they need to hear the most right now? Felt this one, and that one wants to move out as well. I'm going to leave that to the side in case I want to pull that later, but not now, I don't think. So let's grab from this deck as well, and then we will get tea leaf. Okay, and just a few tea leaf cards for pile number 1 here. This one, and this one. Perfect. Okay, so your first message is chaos. All right, let's look at the archetypes. We have the Queen as well as the Seed. All right. See these, we have seduction and birth. This card has been coming out all week in many different readings. It's very interesting. I think it's generally a very attractive time for getting what you want. If you probably heard, we have the Lionsgate portal going on August 8th. So it does just feel like, of course, attracting your desires is very supported at this time. Your tea leaf, we have romance. We have wreath with sorrow over a loss. This one I read as romance, did I not? But it is the fan card. It says romance, celebration, and party. I guess romance could be strong here. We have cat with a two-faced friend. Yeah, wow, it's really wild with chaos, and it's speaking of a few kind of more challenging situations in the tea leaf with sorrow over a loss and a two-faced friend. We have this situation going on. It seems like it kind of is tying into this aspect of chaos, but more so controlled. It's almost like if there's something that has been making you angry, that has made you feel hurt lately, that controlling that anger is what's going to get you to be able to move on from this situation. Yeah, you could be losing someone who reveals true colors, perhaps at some upcoming event, or maybe recently something happened at an event. I think the Queen is telling me that someone was a bit dramatic. Maybe it was their birthday party or something similar, and even if nothing specific happened, I think that with the Two of Wands here, it's almost like you realized something about them. You realize something about the way that what it actually meant that they brought you into their life. Like what was the reason behind that? If now I find myself here and it seems like the intention was a facade, the good intention that was seemingly there was just a facade, a way to seduce. I think some of you feel like you were manipulated in this situation, and you were controlled or you were used, and something is going to sprout from that anger. Absolutely, the seed and birth, definitely. We see something is going to grow from this situation. It is not a dead end for you at this time. I think I almost want to say you have the third house of Gemini, so I do feel like, and it's really actually interesting, we diminish the zodiac sign of Gemini to like this idea of being two-faced. And I wanted to say that maybe this event or this situation happened in May. Maybe it was someone who is a Gemini. We're calling out a Gemini here, perhaps. Maybe you are a Gemini. But regardless, I feel like recently in the summer, there could have been some kind of event that made you realize the truth behind someone's intentions. And again, it's going to allow you to go forward. Your secret message here, your future is bright. You're going to explode into a new, the seed is going to expand really quickly here. It's going to sprout upward very quickly from this situation. I think you've been waiting for an opportunity, and I am looking at this card here now, so I'm going to pull it out and let's look at this one. The Underworld. I feel like you've been trying to dig your way out of a tough place. It's coming through with the chaos once again within this Underworld card. You've been navigating your way out of something that is pretty impressive that you were able to navigate out of, because it's coming through as being very discombobulated and chaotic in itself, and took a lot of determination with the Two of Wands to be able to continue with patience and wait for the right opportunity to finally recognize something and not look away from it this time. Yeah, the Underworld, you're seeing someone's shadow side, definitely. Again, it could have been a Gemini, or it could have been something that came to light a few months ago. Let's go ahead and shuffle out tarot. What is the message? Why is this coming back up if it may have happened a bit ago? What is the discovery here? What is new about this situation that pile one should be aware of? Four of Swords. I think your spirit guides are wanting you to be aware of the fact that now is finally time to lay that to rest. Let's see. I'm going to keep shuffling. What is pile number one laying to rest here? What is this message for them? I'm taking this very literally. I feel like you're laying to rest someone who had an alternate side, a shadow side. Someone, again, like fooled you or manipulated you here, and I think maybe this is coming back around. I even have 15, so it's like a cycle has come back around from 5 to 15. Like, maybe this is coming to light because there's justice being brought to the situation from other factors other than you bringing it to attention. Maybe there are other people who are involved who perhaps are coming to you and expressing their experience with this situation, and you're able to recognize that there's a band of you that have been through the same thing, even if it's not people you know directly, even if it is not people who were in direct contact with this person. I think it is something about, regardless, they have been through a similar situation and you can relate with a group of people on this experience. What is this experience? The King of Pentacles. Take that one as well. Judgment. The Emperor. And the King of Cups. What was this experience for pile number 1? I think it was one that, we see with the King of Cups that this is where you have almost arrived after moving through it. I think that this was a moment that, of course, was meant to happen, that was planned as part of your story, and I think that the goal here is for an elevation to happen because of the way that you're able to gain control again. That's what I see with the Emperor. Your signal to expansion is gaining control. Gaining control. Yeah, that's absolutely what it is with chaos, with all of that. You're gaining control over the situation and it's bringing you a lot of peace. There's still, I think, some turmoil happening from this, through which that I think you channel some of this energy into the work you do. Some of you guys, the work you do is a product of the emotions behind this situation. And it could be something that does provide for you in a very stable, consistent way. It could be your art that you put out. It could be, just anything that you are able to express your authentic story through, even your voice, through speaking it. But it can be challenging. It almost doesn't feel as sweet of a reward at times because there is still the turmoil happening within, and you get praise for this. Perhaps you are recognized for your ability to have control of the chaos that occurred in your life, but we know that even the most successful, happy people do have things that are going on inside that they need to deal with, that they need to work with. And the recognition here is that nobody is perfect. We all have that shadow side that we try to conceal, that we try to keep within. But you are not the only one who is needing to ride these waves. No, it's never the same specific wave. There's infinite water molecules in any body of water, and one wave is never the same as it was before, but they all contain the same baseline structure. It's again with being able to relate to people about what you've been through, because the most chaotic, if you feel like your situation was not easy to repeat to a T, the chaos that occurred within it, that very well could be true, but I think it's important to know that the structure is something that can be repeated as well, and people can relate to you on the structure of this difficult time. The basic features that a difficult time entails is what you can take peace in knowing that other people ride those waves as well. What is this? This card is moving on me. I'm going to reveal it. We have Temperance. Going forward, what are we looking at now for pile number 1? How are they feeling now? Temperance card. You've been feeling like you're gaining more balance, more control. We have very nice energies lining up here. Four of Swords, Judgment to Temperance. I think that there is a shift taking place now where your way of dealing with this is much more controlled, of course, and through strategies and techniques, I think you're able to keep it at bay for the most part. What is on the other side of this for pile number 1? What else can we know about this situation and how it's affected them? I'm going to take out this and go with that. So the Two of Swords, going forward with not being able to see the options, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, wow. Four of Cups. I don't think you know yet the full degree to which this, the full extent to which this is going to come back around to serve you. Or rather, it's like something more isolating right next to something very abundant and very positive, in this case with Two of Swords next to Queen of Pentacles, as well as up here Ten of Cups, very, very positive next to Four of Cups, which is more challenging. I think pile number 1 is looking at, it's all about the balance. Yeah, we're looking at going forward, acknowledging those days that are more difficult, but acknowledging how close they are as well to all these good moments that are in your future. Ones that you may not be able to see now, but you may not be able to see the way you're being supported and protected now, but we do see it happening for you with the umbrella. We do see it happening with the company of the companions up here, as well as the moon, to guide you through your intuition. And I think it will lead you on a path of finding a way to come out of this situation in abundance. And like on textbook, what am I trying to say? Like in text, this looks great. Like your future looks great with the Queen of Pentacles, financial stability and abundance. What you have put intention into growing was successful. It became abundant from the start, from the seed, from the very birth of it. We see success there. We see emotional fulfillment with a typical happy ending here. Could look like what you've always wanted in terms of partnering up with someone or people, or having a family, or having a close community, having a lot of friends, whatever it is. But there, of course, is the aspect of nothing ever being as good as it seems, almost, with the Four of Cups. What is this challenge for pile number 1? What is holding them back even once they achieve their abundance? What is this just wanting to bring to the attention of pile number 1 so that they can, it's forgiveness of yourself for not always being able to have a 100% date, not always being able to have all the motivation to do the same exact thing you did yesterday or the week before or whatever it is. But you'll have to know, you'll have to have more grace with yourself. And I know how hard that probably is. I think that there's an adjustment because of the fact that chaos was so prevalent before, that it's almost like if there isn't that level of chaos, you begin to think that something is wrong. You begin to think that nothing is moving. You begin to think that someone is not passionate about you because there isn't action all the time. There isn't excitement, which could have been what you gave the name of chaos in the time that it was really chaos and affecting you negatively. You could have given it the name of excitement. And so the thing that I'm seeing here is it's really like almost like boredom. It's a tendency to be bored as everything kind of settles out. But it's also encouraging. It's like that's exactly what we want in this situation. We want that balance. We want the days where it's okay to do nothing, to be lazy, to not always be able to see the next step to take. Can we shuffle out additional, let's see here. What is the overall message? I think that I feel that the messages that needed to come out have spoken for themselves in this reading. I think that this was an interesting reading. I think that it was not meant to call anyone out, but rather it's introducing what a steady life going forward is going to look like, and helping you to remove any blockage that could show up in the form of feeling like if you're not taking risk, if you're not taking action, if you're not surrounded by risk and action, that you are not moving quickly enough. There's an adjustment of pace that it is speaking of. I think things are going to be slowing down for you, but in a way that while it is slowing down, it's almost like there's the major body is moving at a slow pace, but then there are variables within that body that are moving at quicker paces within that. So the overall perception is slow movement, but you have to know that there is a lot stirring beneath the surface. I want to say part of that is good. Part of it is little inklings of new creative ideas, of new inspirations that are starting for you, or solidifying new norms within you. But I also want to say some of it is a product of lingering chaos from the situation you are moving away from. And it will be important to recognize it as nothing more than being lingering at this point. Do not accept it as part of the norm going forward. I'm going to pull these final two cards off the top of the deck that I've been feeling. So let's see what these ones say. We have the Knight of Wands. And we have the King of Swords. That's kind of what I'm thinking of, is like major movement in one direction feels slower, feels maybe not right in some situation, but you have to know that there is so much below the surface that caused such a simple action to be taken of a horse jumping. There's so much happening behind the scenes of, you know, your muscles are contracting and the ATP is like, the energy is doing whatever, and mitochondria, they're going to work. It's like that. And you're ignoring the fact that jumping through chaos, jumping through the fire ring, while containing composure, feels like you're not doing it right, feels like you're not excited enough, feels like you didn't appreciate it enough, the pace, the excitement around you. But I think it is because you know that there is much more in store for you that is working behind the scenes, weaving each direction of this dress here to create something beautiful and cohesive at the very end. Yeah. I hope that brought you some clarity to the situation. And you know what? This kind of Makes me think of your card that you were drawn to as well, if you chose based on this card. I really feel like there are things from this message that you have taken that maybe I am not as sensitive to the fact that you received a lot more from what was said than maybe I am believing that you did now. So I'm going to finish out your message here with your final guidance card. Let's see what this one says. The Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. Wow. Reclaim your power with a new start, with a new birth. We have the 4th house here with Cancer. We have 44. You're very powerful. And your power is in your contentment. It is in your peace as you have moved through difficult situations, even as you navigate the chaos bubbling below the surface within you as well. If anything that this reading helped you feel seen and recognized, I think that that could be a big part of this situation. I hope that you enjoyed these messages. Please like, comment, subscribe if you did, as well as turn your notifications on if you don't want to miss the next reading I upload. But with all of that being said, pile number 1, I hope you have an amazing day. I wish you the best of luck in this situation, and I will see you in your next reading. Hi there, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. These are general messages that you need to hear right now, so let's get into these energies. I'm going to be finding out what this message is as you guys do. So let's see with these Oracle. One card here for group number 2. I was feeling this one. Let's pull a couple Archetype cards. Group number 2. What do they need to hear most right now? This one I had felt. Is there anything else from this Archetype deck for group number 2? Perfect. Okay. Let's take these Oracle cards. Group number 2, what do they need to hear right now? General messages for the collective. So we'll have 3 of those, and let's do some tea leaf as well, and then we will get into the messages. I'm going to take those that didn't want to go in. There's a lot there. I might, yeah, we'll reveal them all, I think. You guys are going to have a lot of messages, so let's see. Pile number 2, we have open heart. Okay. Let's reveal these. You have the orphan and the hunter. Okay, let's see here. You have impulsiveness and independence. I thought that was going to say indecision. Let's see, and there's one more. Discrimination as well. Okay, and let's see your tea leaf. V with victory and some endeavor. That's very specific. I really don't think I've ever seen this card in the deck, just V. That is so interesting. Some of you, that is very relevant. Your name could start with a V or someone significant to you. We have leg with stepping into a new experience. I don't think I've seen that one either. December. Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Tower, solid foundation, success with effort. And we have grapes with time to go out and have fun. I see the V here. I was looking at this and now I see the V within the grapes. Victory means it's time to go out and have some fun. Success has been achieved with effort. Very soon here. Open heart. Your open heart. The hunter to the open heart. The hunter to the predator to the scent of what they are going after, to the prey, is so obvious. The track is, once that animalistic sense kicks in, the predator heads straight to the prey. Same with the way that you marched forth to your goal. I see that with the horse. There's so much action and movement that it looks like you had taken with open heart, with knowing exactly what it is would align with your heart space at this very moment, at that very moment. yeah, you used your intuition to make those beneficial changes to your heart space. Like a hunter to the prey, like the arrow to its target, you have been drawn exactly where you were meant to go. And it is time to go out and have fun at this time. The tower, solid foundation. A solid foundation is in store. You may feel like stepping into a new experience. You may feel like it is premature to go out and celebrate at this point. Maybe you were still waiting. Maybe December is significant for you. Maybe that will be the time that you can really recognize all of my abundance is here. Everything is set up for my independence and my success going forward. But I think it's worth celebrating now, because solid foundation, this is confirmation that whatever you have been concerned about, I think some of you have been concerned about whether you've been doing enough, whether what you've done has been strong enough. But we see such strong energy, like an undeniable path that I've spoke of many times here. I've mentioned with the hunter analogy. And so I do believe that in just a few months here, that is when you can look back and recognize the way that the permission you gave yourself to get happy about it now was correct, was the right move. At the very least, I almost see you going into the new year, like a major new year celebration to really kick off, definitely with the orphan, to kick off a new perspective, a new independence. What is this impulsive message? I want to say almost whatever you have viewed as an impulsive choice, I think rather was an act of inspiration. I think that impulsivity shows up in a very specific way for you, and I think that perhaps there is a moment, definitely with the Tower card, I feel like there is a moment, if you can like exercise your brain and discover a time that you were actually impulsive, like that was textbook impulsivity. I think you will finally be able to make the discrimination between an inspiration and impulsivity, or rather you're realizing how much those two almost go hand in hand, and it really depends how you view it. It's like a thought like isn't true just because you think it. Labeling something as impulsive isn't necessarily true just because that's what you've been conditioned to think that action was. Rather, I think it was things overflowing. Things overflowed, and I think that maybe the impulsive thing that happened here was things being removed from your life and ending with a little bit more independence. I don't think it was impulsive, I simply think it was way overdue, and to the point where your reaction to it was simply bubbling below the surface and had to come out that strong at that point. It was always the decision to be made, but you're viewing it as impulsive just because there was a alternate emotion behind it because you let it happen so long, or the circumstances were such that it had to continue that long. So the true context behind what you did, the true nature of it, is solid. Yeah, the solid foundation, it's just the way that you felt, the emotions behind it, you felt that was what made it perhaps a wrong decision. But I think I've explained that wasn't true. Let's see here for pile number 2. What is this impulsive decision that it seems like they have made recently? I'm going to take that one I saw and this one. Let's shuffle out more tarot. Can we explain what made pile number 2 feel impulsive? Okay, let's start with those. use pile number 2. 7 of Wands. Yeah, look at the way it's like shouting and declaring and almost screaming. And 7 of Branches, it would typically be these branches aimed at the subject of the card, and almost like accusatory, almost like cornering one person, and the need to set up defenses and boundaries. That's exactly the point you found yourself at. Was being fed up, was no longer being able to keep that tamed below the surface. The Ace of Swords, a strong realization allowed you to accept this as your truth, as something that was meant to go all along. The Ace of Pentacles as well. New beginnings are meant to come about from this. New thought patterns, new motivations to get back on track with your life, with prioritizing yourself, with doing the things that are going to keep you stable and keep you moving upward. Ace of Wands as well. I'm going to see what the next one is. The Queen of Swords. I think your strength here, your biggest strength, is your ability to use your mind. There's a transformation with your how inspired you can be by the thought processes you are now able to have. You're able to not only have these thoughts as inspiration, but you're able to have the energy and capacity to actually nurture them to greater achievement and greater abundance at this time. And it was brought to my attention in a recent reading I was watching for myself, a way that the reader read the cards, were that in a similar situation where we have 3 ace cards, including every suit of the tarot deck, sword, pentacles, and wands, the one that's missing is something we should pay attention to. So we are missing Ace of Cups. What's been missing is the prioritization of self with the Ace of Cups, the emotional fulfillment. The King of Wands. You've got plenty of inspiration, you have plenty of drive, you have plenty of power, you have the ability to defend yourself and set strong boundaries. But at what cost does that take to you? Is there the ability to replenish what was spent in order to do that? The 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, and the Lovers. The Honeybee with Heart Awakener, the Lovers card. Seven of Cups, I think you've been choosing everything but yourself. And I think that even going forward, that is a struggle in the near future. However, I think that something that can kick you into the habit of doing so is perhaps coming into connection with a love interest, with a romantic partner, with this committed soulmate like that. I think that they will fill in a few gaps, and I think that perhaps the emotional gaps you had perceived, you wondered if that simply needed to be filled by another person. Like, you recognize the fact that it's important to be there for yourself, to advocate for yourself and have self-love. But I think that you wondered if any of what was missing had to do with the lack of a significant person or partner. And I think that perhaps that is coming in, or in this current time, you're nurturing a new connection. And I think that that is bringing to light currently the ways in which you are still left isolated at the end of that with the orphan. What still feels isolated and what still feels empty even after this person comes in. It's a very strong point for you to make those connections of, I feel like all of my other bases are covered at this point, but now I can say for certain that it really is time to buckle up and get into gear with really treating myself right. Like, here is your secret message. Get up and show the world. You're a legend. Show yourself. Let's see. 4 of Cups. Yeah, there's something missing. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. This energy of the 4 of Cups having other things that have come into place. And what you are still paying attention to, and the thing that you still want to pull out from below the surface, is how to prioritize yourself. And the orphan is making me think of childhood as well, nostalgia, and your child self, and prioritizing them and looking back on the ways that you can support that child self now. I don't know if you had like a nickname growing up. I don't know why I'm thinking of that. I'm just looking at this card. Speaking of names that start with V or that contain a V. Maybe you have like maybe some of you have changed your name recently as well, and that's a new thing going forward that is helping you feel fulfilled. And it's also allowing you again to recognize after that what else is missing now. We have the Judgment card, or yes, the Judgment card with Crocodile and Butterfly, the Masters of Discernment. This is an interesting dynamic. I want to see if anything else comes up to support what I'm thinking with that. Let's see. I've been feeling this card actually. We have the Hermit with the Owl, Keeper of the Light. Okay. Okay, I want to keep going, see if there's anything to clarify what has come out here. What is coming up next for pile number 2? The Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Magician. Yeah, I do feel like there's a rebirth happening. It's almost like, yeah, you've been keeping something inside. Definitely, there is something I mentioned with this card that I feel like is kind of bringing this idea as well, but been keeping some light inside. This is the Hermit card. And I think that in the past, these two friends were the same animal. Let me explain this well. I see like unlikely friends, or a friendship that carries through change and trials and tribulations, and yeah, really just like unlikely friends, or yeah, the shifting of and following through to see each one to their abundance, to safety. See, we're even showing up different here as two different figures. I think there's a lot about changing as you move through your path, and how that's okay, and how some of you do have like a very strong friendship that is carrying through this with you. It even could just be with a companion animal or a guardian animal. If that resonated, I think I spoke what I needed to on that, but let me pull out this final card off the top of the deck. And we have the High Priestess with the Magician. This is very powerful. You have a lot of power with your experience. You have a lot of power with what you've been through. You have many faces in this lifetime, and you are finding yourself every day through those changes. There's a lot more in store for you. I love ending the message on the High Priestess because it just lets me know that there's more ahead in this path that we are not aware of yet, but nonetheless will make you very happy. So let me pull out your final guidance from the Spirit Animal deck. Let's see this card off the top of the deck. We have the Wombat Spirit with Be at Home. And be at home within yourself. Be comfortable with yourself, even if you're changing. Our homes change all the time to reflect our changing preferences and what brings us joy. So do not be afraid to change your own home as well. Know that your past self, your child self, still exists within that changing home. Ooh, I love that message. I hope you guys enjoyed that, pile 2. Please let me know if it resonated in the comments below. Like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it if you take the time to support me in that way. Make sure to turn your notifications on so you do not miss my next upload, my next reading. But with all that being said, I hope you have an amazing day, pile 2. I wish you the best of luck navigating this energy, and I will see you in your next reading. Hi there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and get right into the general messages for you today by shuffling out Oracle. I'm going to do a lot of the shuffling now so we can get rolling with your messages. I feel that card. Let's see here for pile number 3. What do they need to hear now? Couple archetype cards, 1 or 2 for pile 3s, or anything else from the archetype deck that we should be aware of here. Pile number 3. I don't think so. I think, you know what, I do see this one. Okay, perfect. Let's take from this deck as well. Pile number 3, general messages. What do they need to hear most? What is this message for? Beautiful. Let's get maybe one more card from this deck for pile number 3. Okay, I'm going to take that one. Perfect. And some tea leaf as well. Them flipped over in there. There it is. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to take those 2 and the purple one and that one because I moved it when I touched it. So let's see. Your first message is pile number 3. We have purity. Okay. We have the desert and threshold. Okay. We have exaltation, authority, and seduction. This card has been coming out like crazy these last few days. It came out for pile number 2 and it was coming out for TikTok readings. Yeah, there's a lot. I mentioned we had the Lionsgate portal August 8th, so it makes sense. It's a very attractive time. So seduction, we're attracting our desires at this time. We have kite, vacation, harp with great happiness. And let's see what month. We have the month of June. And younger woman, dealings or relationship with a younger woman. Okay. Something about being cut off. Yeah, that totally makes sense to me now. Something about being cut off with the music too. And we have like the severed limbs, it looks like, in these 2 cards with the feet and the hand, but nothing else really pictured. This gives me similar imagery as well of like a fish, some kind. I'm seeing some kind of fish within this image. I wonder what it is meant to be exactly. That's interesting. The card is purity. Cut off, like resources cut off from air. The music has been cut off. Your contact has been cut off. Dealings or a relationship with someone has ended perhaps in June because a threshold was reached for how far that relationship could go, for how much happiness it could continue to bring, or was it bringing any happiness? I'm not sure. Maybe that is the realization. This was your secret card if you stuck around to choose that for your pile as well. There's only so much that a person who had authority over you could do for you in this time to make you happy. Their methods of being appealing to you were short-lived, or they were not enough to make up for, they were not bringing you the amount of happiness that you expect. They were not bringing total exaltation. Or, I don't know who this was. It could have been a work situation. It could have been a boss. It could have been a relationship. Perhaps you were cut off by going on vacation, and you achieved a lot of purity through that vacation, through the time away, even if you didn't travel anywhere. You had some time away, maybe in June as well. And it brought a lot of clarity to your situation, that when you were in that space is when you were able to achieve some form of great happiness. It was when you were finally able to breathe and purify through each breath, rather than breathe rapidly through anxiety and through stress and hard work that this situation was putting on you. Let's go ahead and shuffle out some tarot. Let's expand on this situation here for pile 3. Did they leave a situation? Are they wanting to leave? And this one as well. Okay, we'll go with that too, and let's get going with tarot. We have the 6 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups. I do think that you have left. I think you've left a work situation that was technically providing for you, giving you what you needed, but of course it was not giving you the peace that you needed. The 3 of Pentacles, it looks like you could be rebuilding as you've moved away at this time. You could be recovering and purifying from this situation. Definitely with the Ace of Cups, you've been prioritizing yourself. 8 of Wands, and because of that prioritization and because of this switch, I think things are finally, and this is number 8. I feel like it is significant to say that this month, of course, this is a very timely reading, so when you watch it, it is relevant, especially at the time of upload. So in this month, August, from June to August, things are shifting in your favor at this point. To the world card, yes, things are definitely shifting in your favor. King of Swords, you could have an opportunity to present yourself to a new work situation, to a greater opportunity, maybe adjacent to what you had done before, and you look very attractive in this sense, in applying, in putting yourself out there, in marketing yourself, your work, networking. Temperance card, yes, I think you're playing your cards right. I think you're working with the energies in such a specific way that I think you're being applauded here for the way that you have navigated and held each passing day, as the differences that each day brings with it. You have navigated that well. And it's bringing you to a place now where it looks like things are moving in quickly. Perhaps this month with the 8 of Wands moving in quickly in the month of August. 5 of Wands. This could be speaking of challenges that happened again around June, around May specifically. The Hanged Man, that caused you to see things differently. Once you were in a place that was dramatically different from that norm, what had become a norm. Once you were introduced to peace with the desert, to expansion and purity within that, not too much going on, pretty predictable the desert is. I mean, in terms of landscape, like it is what it is. It's a great expanse with a lot of room for growth. Once you realize that is out there for you, again, through some vacation, through a time away where you purified, you noticed how purified you felt after it compared to what you had left from. It makes you realize that your situation was really, really piling up and reaching a threshold that it would have soon bubbled over. And I think that the way that the situation would have ended would have been not as easy to recover from if it would have gotten to the point where your decision was last minute, or your decision came from a place of like in the moment circumstance where you were called out, something was put on you, or you were blamed for something, and maybe your ending would have been a little bit more showy or dramatic, or maybe you would have gone out with a little bit of a bigger impression, I guess. But I think that it came in really good timing, the way that you were able to realize just how quickly your plate was piling up in this situation and you're able to get out. The Three of Cups. Maybe even you had some close friends that helped you realize this through comparison to their situation. It brought a lot of attention to the drawbacks of yours. The Justice. I think that you have close friends in your life that perhaps this made them angry, the way that they learned about what you had been through, and I think that their passion behind it ignited some within you as well to make you realize once and for all that this was never for you and it was bringing you down. And it's nice to know it looks like you have supportive people to kind of fall back on. Not even fall back on, but, have as you continue through life. Let's see here. I'm going to pull out additional tarot. Where is pile number 3 going? 7 of Cups. The world is available for you to, again, with the 2 of Wands, it's like there's a world of opportunities that you can navigate. The 5 of Pentacles, I think right now you're considering what is practical for you to go after with the way you're set up with your finances now. What exactly can you offer to your situation and have it be reciprocal to make sure that you are making something out of it, out of the effort that you put in here. The 2 of Swords, this is something you're going to be discovering. You're going to be discovering soon here how to navigate this, how to balance it. 4 of Wands, and it's going to be a big moment once you do realize, I'm thinking like Ace of Wands moment when you have a creative inspiration kind of out of nowhere. And the 8 of Pentacles, it's going to be the one that you should run with and that you will quickly become a master at, that you were destined to become a master at. Can we get any hint towards what this could be for pile number 3 here? Any other messages for them? The 9 of Swords and the Hierophant. I think, yeah, this is confirming to me that it could be a way that you have found to tell your story, to tell something, a narrative that you have experienced with that you know is like niche in the field that you'd be putting it out into. You'd be teaching people about what you did, your steps, your strategy, or even just sharing your experience to where people can relate. Your teaching, I think some of you could be teaching independently. That's interesting. You could be acquiring your own methods to teach whatever it is. If it's any topic you are an expert on. 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords, the Lovers, and let's do one more here. Empress. Okay. I can't not say that some of you are heading where you want with your partner. With the Lovers and Empress, whatever next steps you view as appropriate in your relationship, I think that is a discussion that is being brought into the energy, into the intention behind actions and routines and whatnot. I think for some of you it was great to hear the message about finding something to do going forward, but I think some of you were wondering about that one thing you really want to know about. 7 and 8 of Swords, perhaps relating to something more specific to what you've always desired growing up, what you had envisioned as your home or family life growing up. I think some of you were wondering, what is the message going to be there? I want an update there that is relevant now. And I spoke of it gives a message with the Lovers to the Empress that there is commitment for the long haul. There is commitment to dedicated work together. that cannot be like backed out of, I want to say. Or otherwise, again, you are taking the next step that you would like to, that you are in agreement with your partner or whoever this significant person is that is next for the two of you, that works for the two of you or multiple of you. Let's see. What can pile 3 expect in this? With this kind of lingering aspect, it feels like they want to know about what can we hear about that additionally. Okay, that's quite a few cards. Let's see what they say. 7 of Wands. The fight will get a lot less demanding coming up. Yep, you'll be able to put that fight down. Something will alleviate, something will lessen and ease up on you in your situation. Wow, wow. 9 of Cups, and this is how free you will feel when that thing is freed from your energy. When your energy, rather, is freed from that. The King of Wands, it will allow you to take true control. Like, to what you define control over my life as, it will feel like that. Or for the first time you recognize, okay, this is really feeling in control compared to that situation I thought was me in control. No, this is like really that moment. I saw 15:45 on the timer. It makes me think of number 5 of change coming. Good change on the horizon. Ace of Swords and the 6 of Cups. Yeah, you're going to finally be able to please a part of you that thought they were happy in the past. You're able to fill their cup finally and lay that to rest. The 4 of Pentacles, energy that has been stagnant is being used up now to clear, it's clearing out. The 5 of Cups, and wow, 7 of Pentacles. It's about the everyday, intention going forward, consistency in your actions and self-love, belief about yourself. The 4 of Cups. Self-love also is going to look like knowing when enough is enough. That's all I'm thinking of with that card. Page of Pentacles, and this one moved here. High Priestess. I'm going to end with that. Pile 2 also ended with the High Priestess, which I said was a beautiful way to end your messages, knowing that there is much more in store that the High Priestess is aware of, that you are aware of, but has yet to be addressed with your situation. The energies have yet to be utilized. The timing has yet to come about to where more things in your future are going to happen for you. That's all this card is. A promise that your future is also in store for you, basically. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, that's really what I'm seeing, is opportunity going forward. Something perhaps starting now is in the future going to be revealed to you as that was the thing all along. That was the thing that was gaining traction, and now I am approaching this time where it seems like something is going to rush in and fully support it going forward. It's going to start to take off with the Page taking over and moving it forward. Okay, pile 3, that feels like your messages. I see this card on the top of the tarot deck. I'm just going to reveal that. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. Very good, very good. Yeah, something is going to become clearer in the future of, and this is like great because it's like nothing you need to be aware of now. It's not necessarily that you don't need to be doing anything, it's that you're doing something already that you will later discover was setting you up for like instant takeoff when the opportunity is right. And you'll realize that like you've already done the bulk of the work unknowingly. So that's very, very promising for you guys. Okay. Let's go ahead and get your final guidance here off the top of the Spirit Animal deck. We have wasp spirit with sometimes life stings. But it's all about the realization of the way that the capability there is to purify after a sting is what makes the stings of life be allowed to happen. Like, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of if you get stung by a stingray and then, you know, you have to do something to heal it, and if you have no other resources with you, the sting is purified. There's always a solution. There's always a way to purify it, and that's why it exists anyways. Why would bad situations exist? I mean, not speaking of every bad situation generally, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Why would they be allowed to come into your situation if there was not going to be a way that this could make you better, that it will improve you, that you can fix it, that you can heal through it? That's what that message is. So pile 3, I hope you enjoyed these messages. I hope it was resonating with you. Please leave a comment below if it did. Let me know. Like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it if you take the time to support me in that way. But with all of that being said, pile 3, I hope you have an amazing day. I wish you the best of luck with these energies, and I will see you in your next reading.